What's going on, YouTube? Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, everybody. I should start sending notices out when I do these. But I'm going to do them every morning, so... FSCU. I'm going to start doing these every morning during the week. 5 days a week. I don't know about the weekends. Don't hold me to that, because I'm not going to be held to that. But I want to start doing these every weekend. What up, D? I mean, every week. Every morning I'm going to do a morning stream. My morning yard stream while I do my yard inspection. Today's topic is my house burning down, almost. And that occurred this morning, right before I left and came here. So, hopefully, everything will be alright. What happened was I went back in the house, I was warming my car up for my lady to get ready to take me to work. And 0. Hold on, guys. I'm still working while I'm doing this. Anyway, for my lady to get ready to take me to work. And we go back. I had to come outside or whatever, start in the car. And she came out with me because we were smoking a cigarette. And I don't know what happened, but my son, I guess, thought we were gone or whatever. This little sucker put slime in my fucking microwave, and I go back in the house, and my house is full of smoke. Like, all I see is smoke, and I'm coughing, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on, G? And he's looking all confused and puzzled, like, I don't know, Pop. And so I go to the kitchen, and because the smoke seems to be coming heavily from the kitchen. So I go to the kitchen, and I'm looking around and shit, and I'm like, okay, well, it's in here, but I can't see where it's coming from. And I'm like, Kari, where did it start? You know what I'm saying? Like, where did the smoke start coming from or whatever? And so the more I'm saying that, the more I start noticing his body language. And I'm like, wait a minute, man. Stop fucking lying to me, man, because you look like you fucking lying now. And so then when my son lies, it's easy to catch him because he's a thespian at heart. So he wears everything on his sleeves, all his emotions. You can see that shit. So when he lies, his head will drop down like this, and he'll close his eyes like a jackass, just giving himself away. And so he gives himself away, and I'm saying, Kari, what the hell happened? Stop lying. So he points to the microwave, and I go over to the microwave, y'all, and my microwave, I open it up, and it just a puff of goddamn smoke just comes barreling out of that motherfucker. And I'm like, what the fuck? It took about a whole minute, 60 seconds, for the smoke to clear enough for me to see what the hell was in there. You said, sound like your nephew. For me to see what the fuck was in there. And by the time it cleared, for me to see what was in there, yo, it was fucking slime. It was fucking slime. And I know for a fact, because when I got to work and I was talking to one of my coworkers and telling him about it, he said, that slime? He was like, man, I got the same problem with my kids and this goddamn slime. And I was like, yo, that shit, I said, if your kids watch Disney Channel, that's where they got that shit from, because I know for a fact that's where my kids got that shit from. Every goddamn time I turn around, they're watching that horse shit, and even when I tell them not to, they're watching that shit, and following right suit. And every time you turn around, that's all those kids are talking about is sliming this and whatever the hell. But yeah, man, I go right back inside the house this morning and smoke just puffled everywhere. It's like I still smell it on me right now. Hey, I also want to, while we doing this live stream real quick, yo, I also want to holler at my nigga Root Words. Root, the jig is up, Root. I'm going to let you know right now that I fuck with Dizzy Cochran. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with you too, Root. You know what I'm saying? But I fuck with Dizzy Cochran. And I know the nigga Root, so if you need to link up with him, you know what I'm saying, to do the little debate shit that he trying to get popping, you know what I'm saying, I might be able to help you with that, Root. But my man Dizzy said he trying to get at you, G. He said he trying to see you on that Morris shit. He said he tired of hearing you talking. And while we up here, me personally, while we talking about Morris, me personally, with Chief, hey, that shit was funny the other day, D, when Sonetta came to Triple C's page or channel, to her stream she did the other night. That shit was hilarious, cause that nigga Root was in there talking cash shit to Sonetta. Like, you see me in here, Sonetta? I was weak, nigga. I was like, Sonetta don't know who the fuck Root is. Root funny as hell, man. I fuck with that dude though. Oh shit. 534. Yeah, that's it. I hate when I got crappy pins and they don't write the way they supposed to. But speaking of all of that, of the Moors and shit, I wanted to I should have changed the title on this, because I did want to talk about Sabir Bey. And Sabir Bey, man, I went to his channel the other day. I'm going to tell you guys the story. I went to Sabir Bey's channel when I found out he had a YouTube page up and popping and shit. I went to his page because I used to see Sabir Bey always with brother Taj Tariq. So, and I respect Taj Tariq Bey like immensely. So when he had I seen that he had a page up, I went over there to check it out or whatever, and I asked him a question because he was answering questions from his chat. So I asked him a question, and I was like, yo, you because he was talking about changing your name and the status correction and all that, and the importance of it, and you got to do this, and telling people, you know, how to do it, what to do, etc. And so I was asking the question, well, do you have, like I ask anybody else who even mentions status correction or anything to people, I asked them, of course, well, do you have any, you know, success stories? Do you have any evidence of any of that shit working in real time? Meaning, do you have any evidence of anybody doing a name change and how that, you know, and applying that to everyday life in real time, and how is it benefiting them, etc. And so he starts going on and off about, because I asked him about court first, and he starts going, I don't go to court. That was his exact response. When I said, what about how is this name change and all that stuff applicable in real time in court and things of that nature? And the first thing he said, his response was, I don't go to court. Now, let me just dissect that for 2 seconds. I don't go to court. You're talking to a group of people, which is our people, black people, telling them about status corrections, name change, removing themselves from the government, being able to make sure that they're not classified as United States without property, etc., etc. Okay, this is what you pushing and peddling to people basically for your whole life, your whole career, because all I've known of Sabir Bey, that's the shit you've been talking about. So when someone asks you a question about court and how this is applicable, in real time, me getting a status correction, all of this shit, how can I use that in court to like, what are some, and I'm asking him basically so he can let not just me, but other people know what are some of the tactics that you use or methods that you use or things to look out for and things of that nature. This nigga comes right out and says he don't go to court. I'm like, what the fuck, nigga? So you mean to tell me if these motherfucking white people said, bring your ass in here to court, you're not going? Of course you're going. Like, if you mean to tell me anybody else who's out here dealing with any type of status correction, dealing with any type of information as far as using it against, I don't want to say against the court, but using it to free themselves from the power that the court tries to exercise over them. How is that being helpful to them? It's like you telling me about a fucking status correction, telling me how important it is to change my name, and the number one fight that every person who calls themselves being free, the number one fight that you have is against the government because they claim ownership over you and claim the right to rule you. So you're gonna have to go to court eventually. You're gonna have to fucking defend yourself eventually. But for your response to be, I don't go to court, like, yo, so what are you telling me about information that's gonna help me free myself from the courts for then? Why, if you don't go to court, that obviously means all the people who do go to court that you tell all this status correction shit to, all the people who do go to court that you tell, oh, see, they don't have the legal this to do that, and the Morris Treaty and all this shit. You're not there helping them fucking people, just like everybody else. Just like everybody else. And I'm so sick of this excuse that niggas keep throwing up, talking about how they're teachers and this, that, and the third. Anybody else who comes out on YouTube and starts calling themselves a teacher, I'm going to need some credentials. And I'm going to start that new campaign probably this evening. Anybody else who comes out on YouTube and calls themselves a teacher, I'm going to need some credentials. Exactly, D. They don't give a fuck about no goddamn status, nigga. Like, it's not, and the whole crazy part about it is, I don't care what they care about. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck what they care about, nigga. I don't give a fuck what they agree with or don't agree with. But what I understand, and what I'm sure you understand, is that, yo, these people are trying to do this shit on you. They're trying to exercise these little rules and codes and all this shit on you. And then you got a group of people who are telling you, yo, this is what you do to combat it. But when you go approach these niggas and go talk to them and ask them simple questions like, yo, do you have any evidence of any of this stuff you're talking about, you know, working in real time, applying this shit in real time? And everybody wants to turn the argument, or turn the discussion into an argument. Well, you don't go to the white man. Yo, stop saying that, man. That's anybody who keeps saying that, you don't go to the white man. Yo, first off, dog, if the white man is doing something wicked and then you start doing something wicked, your excuse can't be you don't say nothing to the white man for doing it. Okay, stop saying that, man. That shit sounds extremely stupid. It sounds extremely childish, and it sounds extremely niggerly. The white man don't do it, but when the white man hold up to such and such, yo, we already know he's full of shit. You're not supposed to be full of shit, especially to a group of people who've already been through enough. You niggas don't ever want to focus on that part. All you want to talk about is the part that makes it okay for you to be a grade A world-class fuck nigga. Excuse me. I didn't mean to. Hope y'all didn't hear that, but I had to spit. Nature calls. It feels so good in the morning to just be out here walking, moving around, trying my best to be productive, unlike Israel Doctrine. Yo, that dude Lex Vortex is killing that nigga too. That shit is, I haven't even been playing the rest of the audio that I heard. Like, this nigga really dragged the shit out of him. But yeah, Sabir Bey, you have just been added to the list. Around here, we don't deal with that kindly. We don't deal with you telling somebody to correct their status and to do this and do that. And when we ask you simple questions about the application of what you're talking about, how is that going to work in real time? How is that beneficial for me? The pitfalls, this nigga, and he even said, AD, this nigga even said, see, this more science stuff is not a get out of jail free card. That's what made me say, you know what? I'm about to bang on this nigga extra hard for at least the next month, because see, that's that same response that I always find from scam artists. They'll find, what they do is they get a main reply or a retort. Like dealing with Sonetta, what's his main reply or retort? You're a hater. You're a dick rider or you're a hater. So anything that he encounters, he's going to say dick rider or hater. Like if you ask Sonetta, what time is it, bro? Dick rider. If you ask Sonetta, is today on Wednesday? Hater. You know what I'm saying? Like he just has, those are his responses. He's trained himself to respond in those ways, in that manner. And so with Sabir Bey and most scam artists who peddle status correction and this, that, and the third, what they'll do is they'll say things like, this ain't a get out of jail free card and da 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 da. Dog, ain't nobody looking at it as no get out of jail free card. And if any person who looks at it just solely as a get out of jail free card, none of that still doesn't change the fact that you said that the United States government doesn't have any authority over us because of the treaties, etc. So show and prove, nigga, how this shit will remove me from how me changing my name and doing this shit that you keep stressing that I have to do. How is that gonna affect my life? How is it gonna help me in real time? That's all I'm asking. That's the only question I keep asking. And every time I ask a question, I get hit with some sort of ad hominem attack or some sort of non-answer. And it keeps happening over and over and over and over. Which leads me to believe that you don't have any evidence, you don't have anything except your mouth. Out of all the years that I've been, hold on guys. Okay. Out of all the years that I've been hearing Taj Tariq Bey, listening to him, and I listen to him still. If he was to come somewhere close to me, I would pay to go see and donate to the pot if I was there, because I like that brother and I respect him pretty much damn near everything he says. It's not like I don't agree with it. That's not what I be saying. My problem with Taj Tariq Bey is, nigga, there's no video anywhere out here of you in court doing anything. Nowhere to be found. And that type of shit is alarming to me. It's alarming to me because you're out here telling people to do something that you're not doing yourself. And most of the time when you come across in life, we're not talking about Taj Tariq, we're not talking about consciousness or none of that. I'm talking about just life, period. When you start coming across people who keep requesting you to do things that they won't do themselves and don't do themselves, there's generally some shit going on with that. And the shit that's going on with it is generally not good. You know what I mean? So, this concludes today's stream, morning stream, that we will be doing every morning. That's it. My son almost burned the house down, and it wasn't even 5 minutes. Y'all, when I say we weren't even outside, we was just standing outside. Because I don't like leaving my car running all the time outside. Because I got to wait for her to get up because she takes me to work. So I don't always like leaving my car outside running. Even though I live in a decent neighborhood, it's, you know, it's still America's ghetto. So, the whole America. So, at the end of the day, I don't like leaving my car outside. So, she came out with me. And we just sitting there, standing there. It's not too cold out. Smoking a fucking cigarette, chilling. She said, hey, I say, the phone is here, babe. You want to take the phone back in the house. And lo and behold, I walk into smoke. Into my son pretending like he didn't know what was going on. And when we got to the bottom of it, people, in less than 5 minutes of me being outside, my little man put slime inside of my microwave, and I walked into a cloud of smoke, which I still smell like right now at work. And secondly, we talked about this morning, this nigga Sabir Bey, who's about to get a thorough dragging for the next couple weeks for his bullshit answer to questions that was asked to him that are legitimate questions. The reason why I say it's bullshit is because I make sure I ask you guys legitimate questions, not troll questions, not bullshit as, hey, why Tariq Bey hating on such a, I don't ask stupid ass questions like that. I ask genuine, real, adult questions, especially to someone who's telling me that there's some sort of guru and they've got the answer to what's ailing black people, and not only do they have the answer to what's ailing black people, they've got a solution ready right now. And when you start talking to them about evidence of that in real time, then it changes. I'm gonna give y'all, before I cut this off, I'm gonna give y'all one more example. I was approached yesterday on lunch by this young lady about some what she called it, some money making shit she was talking about. But anyway, she was like, I help people make money when you invest and get $10,000 back off their investment, and sometimes you can invest with no money down and all this shit like that. So I listened to her. I did not interrupt or anything. I listened, and then when she was done, I said, okay, that sounds really interesting, because it did sound interesting. I said, it sounds really interesting, but do you have any success stories or, hold on. So I asked her, do she have any success stories? You know, I was like, is there anywhere that I could go to find satisfied customers, you know, and get their take on your business and your practices, etc. And it's tomorrow, and this was lunchtime yesterday, 12 o'clock, and it's going on 7:30 now. Tomorrow, the next day, and I've still yet to hear from her. So that's how you catch a scammer, yo. When people are offering you shit and trying to sell you shit, just tell them motherfuckers you need to see satisfied customers. That's what I want to talk to. People who actually gone through your process. He said I should have told her fuck off. Maybe. Derek Jones Talks Live. Peace.